This is the walkthrough for CryptoRide. So first step is to open your terminal. Okay, and we're gonna git clone the project repo. So we're actually gonna go to quick start, and we're just gonna follow the guide right here. First, we want to git clone, which will download the project repo. Wait for that to install. Okay, so as you can see, I downloaded directly to my desktop, so it's right here. What we'll do now is cd into it, so we'll run the next command right here. We'll just paste that into our terminal. Alrighty. And now if we ls, you can see our smart contract files. So we have our contracts, our migration, truffle config. So now what we want to do is install our node library. So we'll run npm install. Now we will compile our smart contract. So we'll run truffle compile. And if you ls, you can see we have a build directory now. So that will contain our contract ABIs and other important contract information. All right, so next step is to migrate. Now, what we want to do first is make sure you have MetaMask installed, because we're going to be using that to create our wallet that will allow us to deploy onto the testnet, Silo's testnet. Before we can migrate, we first have to create a wallet in MetaMask. So we'll open MetaMask, make sure you have the browser extension installed. I've already done this once, but I'll do it again. First, you want to make sure you're on this Silo's testnet. Then what you want to do is create an account. As you see here, I already did that. We'll then copy our new wallet address, and then we'll go to Silo's testnet faucet and just paste it in here. As you can see, I've already done that. I'll do it again. Now, what this will do, this will send us one Silo, and so now what we'll do is we'll go back to our MetaMask. As you can see, we have our one Silo. Now this will allow us to deploy. So we'll go back to our smart contract. So now what we want to do is open our truffle config file. So you can run open-a in whatever program you want to use. So in this case, we'll use Xcode. So here it is. This is our truffle config file. So this will allow us to migrate. We'll then go to account details, and now we can export our private key. So you'll copy your private key and then paste it in our truffle config file. Save that, exit out. Alrighty. Now we'll go back to our terminal, and we can run the following command. Let me go back to my quick start here. So we'll run, I'll just copy this, paste it in here. So once our migrations is done, we'll need the output from this. All right, so just leave this terminal open because we'll move on to the iOS apps. What we'll need is the contract address later on. So we'll open a new window. So you can just right click, new window. I'll minimize this one. So we'll just cd, drag it in. Here we go. And then we'll just cd into CryptoRide into the iOS portion of the project. So then we'll cd into iOS. And we'll do the driver. Now, for the following, we'll have to do for both apps. But for now, let's just do the driver, and then I'll come back to the other one, do the passenger. So I split it up to make it easier to understand. So you wouldn't have a single project with two targets. That would be the correct way of doing it. But I wanted to, for simplicity, just to separate the two portions of each role, right? Now what we want to do is install our pod file. So we'll just do, if your MacBook has an ARM CPU, I recommend using the following command, specifying the CPU architecture for installing. So we'll run that. Let that install, and you can see we've got some libraries here. The important ones are, I mean, they're all important, but the main ones we use are Firebase, so that's our database, and Swift Web3. So let that install. We'll then jump back to the passenger app. So we'll cd into CryptoRide passenger and run the same command. So we'll just do specifying our architecture. So we'll run pod install. All right, so now we can launch our, build our app first. So you see we got 2 apps. I'm gonna launch Xcode now. And we'll just do open existing project or file. And also specify the project that we downloaded. Okay, so we'll do our workspace. We'll just upload, we'll do the passenger one first, and then we'll do the driver. So here it is. Now it's gonna process these files. It might take a little bit, so let it load, let it process. So while this is processing, we can go to our, so if you migrated your own contract, you would then want to go to address and change out the address, the default address for the address that was migrated. So the one that was created during our migrations. So right here, this is our, make sure it's the ride manager contract. And then this is our new address. So I'll just paste this in here before we build. So now we can build the app. Currently we're running on iPhone 12. Let this build. As you can see, it is currently launching our simulator and installing our app. All right, so once this is set up, we can then move on to, so let's do the driver real quick. So we'll just do file. So we're gonna leave the passenger app open, and we're just gonna select another project. We're gonna select the driver section. So we'll say file. Oops, I did the wrong one. We'll do file, open, and then we'll select iOS and workspace. Make sure it's the workspace, not the Xcode project, because this contains our CocoaPods, which are our pod file, which is just our libraries. So we're gonna do the same thing with the driver app. So right now I'm currently gonna minimize the driver section, or the passenger section. Now we'll just let this process, and I'll probably just skip ahead until I have both apps open. I'll make sure, one thing to note is to make sure you select a different simulator than the passenger app. Otherwise it will just run on top of, we'll need 2 phones, right? For both roles. So we'll run an iPhone 13. Again, check your signing capabilities, make sure that's set. Oh, one last thing, so I'll do the same thing. We got to check our, so we'll run to contract, addresses, and then we'll paste in our contract address. We don't need this file anymore, so we can exit out of that terminal. It's up and running. Let's log in. So we're going to create, actually this would be the password for our new wallet that's created, and it is also used as our login. Let me just move over. So we'll put in a password, we'll say password. And we'll do password again for the driver. So let's log in. Okay, so we're prompted, both apps require location in order for them to work properly. So we'll just say allow. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, the passenger app doesn't have any drivers. So let's change that. Let's go over to our driver and register the wallet. Now what this will do is it will allow the driver to participate in the driver role functions in the smart contract. So we'll just leave these default. So name, we'll just call him, we'll say Elon Musk. Why not? As the name for our driver. And this is the social profile. So this is your Twitter and your, currently I'm just using Twitter and Instagram. So we'll press next. And now our vehicle description, we'll do a Tesla Model X, 2020 Tesla Model X. Number of seats, we'll do 4. All right, so now we can set our fair price. So this is the price that the driver wants to be paid out per hour. And it allows a ballpark estimate for rides. So it's what the driver wants to be paid out at. And we can do, let's say 20, let's do 25 per hour. So we'll do next. Now we need to fund our driver wallet in order to register. So I'm just gonna copy our wallet address. I can just click the QR code and paste it in here. Wait for that to confirm. Okay, so CELO sent, we're good. So I can refresh. So see one CELO, and we should see one CUSD. Let's enter our password once more. Okay, send that out. Now we should wait for them to confirm. There we go. And as you can see, here's our balances for CELO and CUSD, and our name, our driver, our vehicle description. We also have rating, and we currently don't have any rides or reputation. So now we can go back, and now we can press start. Now what this will do is it will create an entry into Firebase with our current location, and the passenger app will be notified that there's an active driver in our location. So we'll do that on the driver side, and you'll see the passenger app. I believe it'll be in the same location because, as you can see, we're both in the same spot. But you'll see a driver annotation pop up, or driver pin. So here it is, the little car. And we can click on it, and there's our address, and that should match up to our wallet address, and it is. So 46EA, so 46EA. That just allows for us to confirm that is the correct driver. Okay, so now let's have him drive around, right? So we'll go to features, location, and we'll just do city drive. So you can see him start to move around. Okay, so while he's moving around, let's drop some annotations, right? Or let's build a ride on the passenger app. So let's say we want to go from where we are to let's just go down the street, right? Let's just go down here. Okay, so there's our route that it picked for us. Go to the next section. So now we get to select our drivers, and as you can see, we currently only have one driver, so in our area. And here he is. So it's our 2020 Tesla, white Tesla Model X. Elon Musk is our driver name, and we can select different social profiles, so we can quickly profile the driver. So if we go to Twitter, as you can see, it will take us to their profile, and we can quickly look through it and see if we want their business or not. Okay, so we'll exit. We like this. We like this driver, so we'll go to the next set. So this is our overview. So we currently have one driver. The route is 9 miles, 13 minutes, and the recommended price is 30 CUSD. Now, the way that this price is generated is just by using the average of the drivers. And currently we only have one driver here, but later on I'll show you when we have multiple drivers on how the ride estimate is calculated. And we can dispute this too. So if we want to go less than, we can. And eventually it'll tell us that the price is too low. Drivers may turn down your ride. And then if you go in the opposite direction, if you go too high, price too high, you may be overpaying for ride. All right, so let's just take it back to 30, what I recommended. I currently set the threshold to around 10. So if you go too high, if you go $10 too high, $10 too high, or $10 too low, it will notify you for that. So we'll just approve funds. Oh, and you know what I just realized is we don't have any funds. So we won't be able to, let's change that real quick. So we have to fund our passenger address too. So hold on, let's paste this in here. Alrighty. Let that load. Totally forgot. In order to write to the chain, you need money. Okay, so as you can see, we are funded now. So we go back. All right, so we can approve our funds. And this should go through this time. The thing to remember, okay, so when it comes to approving funds, so what this will do will allow the ride manager contract to transfer funds directly from our account our wallet to the ride manager escrow account. So let's do that. So we'll approve the amount. Something to note here is currently, because we only get one CUSD from the faucet, I have it fixed to 1 cent. So the ride price is 1 cent. So you'll see that over here when this ride pops up when it's announced, you'll see that it's only 1 cent. Let's send that out to the network, and as you can see on our driver app here, you'll see it being broadcast. So here it is, and we have a timer that is displayed to us. So we'll select that. As you can see, it tells us whether the price was fair. The current ride price, like I said, it was 1 cent, and the reputation for the passenger. So let's accept that. And as you can see, the state changed. Now so now we're on the second step of the ride manager states, right? Or the ride state. And what we can do now is on the driver app, we can then open the route in Maps. And this will just open the default map on the phone. And the idea with this is we don't want to, I felt like the ride manager, CryptoRide isn't supposed to be a navigation app, right? It's only supposed to be you could add a navigation system to this, but I felt like it was out of the scope of what I wanted to accomplish with this project. So let's say on the passenger app that we were picked up by the driver. So we'll say confirm pickup on the passenger app. Alrighty. So now on the driver app, we can then go from the pickup location to the drop-off location. And that is what it is telling us. So current task, take passenger to drop-off location. And then the current task on the passenger side is wait for driver to confirm drop-off. So similar to picking up the passenger, if we can also open this route in our map view, in our Apple Maps. We'll just confirm drop-off on the driver app, and now we have an option to rate our passenger. So let's just give him 5 stars. We'll confirm that. Okay, so similar to the driver dropping off, we need the passenger to also confirm drop-off. Now, the reason for this is to understand what state we're in to prevent bad acting. So really, this mechanism here is just to prevent anyone from abusing the system too much. There has to be a give and take. So we'll rate our driver. We'll give him 2 stars, let's say. So we'll confirm that. Okay, wait for that to emit on the network. Okay, so now you can see we completed the ride. So let's confirm that we understand. And the ride is over. Simple as that. So if we refresh, we can see our rating and our total ride. So the passenger got 5 stars, the driver only got 2 stars. You can see our reputation increased by 10, and the total rides increased by 1. Let's go back. So let's add another driver to this. So I'm gonna register another driver. Let me launch another simulator. All right, so now we got our second driver going. I just press start so we can see he'll be added right here as an active driver. The activation takes about 5 to 10 seconds due to Firebase, the way that their restrictions are. So here we are. So you can see the new driver. We can select him, his address. Very similar addresses. Okay, so let's do another ride, and you'll see how the mechanism works for drivers accepting rides when we have 2 drivers. So we'll go from our location on the passenger app to, let's go same location, somewhere around here. So now we have 2 drivers, and the prices are extremely different. So you can see his name is Bill Nye and our Elon Musk guy. So like I said, there's the same social profiling that we can do. We can also edit and remove drivers if we want, so we can reject drivers. So then it would only be a single driver that's broadcast. For this demo, let's do both drivers. So let's have our Bill Nye, and there's priority. So the driver on top is the prioritized, is the highest priority. So we want that driver first, and then it goes to the second driver. And I believe I set 5, so you can do 5 drivers all in total. All right, so let's go next state. So as you can see, let's go our build overview. So we have our drivers. We got 2 drivers, the route 8 miles, 12 minutes, and the recommended price. We can always change that. Okay, so let's approve funds. Okay, and then send that out to the network. Okay, so now you can see our driver, Bill Nye, got the first priority. So he can choose to accept this or not. And then our other driver, so let's do that, and you can see how it is handled. So we'll say confirm. Okay, so as you can see, Bill Nye got the route, and it is also confirming here that the ride accepted by another driver. So we'll confirm that. And now let's say we want to cancel. So we'll cancel from the driver app. So as you can see, both. Let me move these over. So as you can see, both the passenger app and the driver app are confirming that the ride was canceled. And if we go to their profiles, you can see that the rating never increased at the same time as the total rides stayed the same. Total rides increased. So when you cancel, your reputation decreases. So when a driver is inactive, they'll just press the stop, and that will remove them from the passenger view. There's only one driver now. And if we add him again, you'll see that he will be showing back up. I have to zoom in a little bit here. So there you go. As you can see, our other driver just popped up with his rate and their ride amount. Okay, so stop all the drivers. And there you go. That was CryptoRide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This was fun to build, I'll have to admit. It was quite the challenge. And there's a lot of improvements I could do to this. I mean, future improvements. I think where it's at right now is good, but I mean, I definitely would like to improve it. Thanks for watching this video.